There we are.
First question, please.
In Spain, we don't understand that Nottingham, after winning one Premier and two championships, were not able to upgrade from National Power Division. Could you explain Nottingham's history from its glorious past?
Yes. Nottingham Forest, the team started in 1865, and it played about 4 kilometres away from where the ground is now, on what was a forest clearance. In other words, forest had been cut down and there was an area for people to play football, and it was called Forest Ground. That's how Nottingham Forest got the name Nottingham Forest in the first place, and it moved to its current, where it is now, about 1900 or thereabouts. And if you ask the question, why do we play in red? Somebody was going to ask that question. It is because in what we would call a pub and you would call a bar, men talked about why to wear red, and if I just referred to my notes, why we called it red. It started wearing red in 1865 at a meeting at this pub that I was telling you about. The committee passed a resolution that the team should be called Garibaldi Red, because there was a big battle in which England and Italy were involved, a war in Garibaldi, and England won that war, so that was why the name Garibaldi and red was originally chosen in 1865. I was only young then.
Have you ever seen vandalism in the city ground?
Have I ever seen
vandalism?
Vandalism? Oh yeah. Very little, very little. Maybe this Saturday coming, we play our local team, which is about 25 kilometres away, called Derby. That is like Barcelona and Real Madrid. That is the big one. and maybe a few people have a little bit too much to drink or something, but it is very small indeed. In fact, about a month ago, you may have seen in the paper, we had some very sad riot problems, some young people causing a lot of damage. There was a little bit in the city of Nottingham, just a little bit, and the police had to take the decision as to whether they needed policemen at possible trouble or whether the policemen could come to the football match. And they took the decision to allow the football match to go ahead. And they said at the beginning, when all the people were there, we made a speaker announcement, and we said, there are no police here, please be good. There were 26,000 people there and no trouble, all clapped. So not a lot of vandalism in Nottingham football.
Last Nottingham heroes, Trevor Francis, Brian Clough,
Peter Shilton or John Robertson?
Sorry, would you repeat that question?
How about last Nottingham's
Number
hero?
11. How about last
Nottingham.
Oh,
hero?
heroes.
Trevor Francis, Robertson.
Well, the big hero was Brian Clough. He was a very, very, very good manager. He should have managed England, in my opinion. And we, my wife and I, we know Brian Clough. We knew it. He's dead now, unfortunately, but when he stopped being manager, he used to come and sit with us in the director's box. I sat here, Brian Clough sat there, and my wife sat there to watch the football. And every time Forest scored, if they scored, he used to kiss my wife. Trevor Francis, of course, was also not quite as famous in my opinion, but he was the first player where £1 million was paid for when he joined Nottingham Forest. That's many, many, many years ago. And £1 million, well, maybe not small money now, maybe 1.2, 1.25 million euros. Not now, not big money, but in probably 30 years ago now, I can check it. 1.2, 1.3 million was quite a lot of money. Now, just children's pocket money.
Not all of them. Was the scorer in the World Cup,
Yeah,
European.
in Santiago Bernabeu when
In a European Cup.
In the European.
he scored
Yeah, but
only goals.
The big man in the European, yes, in the first European Cup, when we won the European Cup #1 time in Malmö in Sweden, Sweden, no, Malmö, Austria. We won the World Cup the first time. We won 1-0, and Trevor Francis scored that goal. The next year, we also, and we are the only club to win the European Cup 2 times. And that was in the Bernabeu Stadium in Real Madrid. And I came to watch that. I was there. And John Robertson scored. We beat Hamburg again 1-0. And John Robertson scored that goal.
What possibilities have Nottingham Forest to upgrade this season?
At the moment, we are not doing very well. We had a bad start to the season. The last 2 seasons, we got to the point where we were in the top 4 and we went to playoffs and unfortunately didn't win. At the moment, as today, we're in the bottom 4. And on Saturday, we play Derby of all people. So we've had a bad stage. 2 with as many more games to go. There's about another 39 games. But I am sad about the start this time.
How long have you directed the club?
Well, I was appointed director in 1998. And I am still now what is called an assistant director. I need to explain the difference. Because I go over 75 years, I become an assistant director as a courtesy, and I hopefully will remain that for the rest of my life. But as a courtesy rather than now. Yeah. So, do you understand what I've just said? Okay? Good.
Now, in Spain, Madrid and Barcelona are by far the best clubs. They get the most amount of money from TV. Is it the same in England with Manchester United and Manchester City and Chelsea?
Absolutely the same. Absolutely the same. There may be in England Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, possibly Liverpool, but those three, they have people that own the club. Chelsea is owned by a Russian man, Abramovich. Manchester United is owned by Americans, and Manchester City is owned by people from Abu Dhabi. And as I think that they have many billions of euros. It's the same, I think. I think in Spain, I think those two clubs are still owned by Spanish owners, aren't they? Barcelona and Real Madrid. I think they are Spanish people, but they must have very big pockets. It's the same the world over. It's the same in Italy. Unfortunately, I think it's a bit sad, but that's commerce. I mean, because they get all the TV, because they get all the shirt advertising, because they promote their businesses on the website and all the rest of it. It's the way the world goes all over the world.
Brian Clough, glorious coach when Nottingham were champion, had a strong personality. What could you tell us about him?
Brian Clough ran, we had many honours with Brian Clough. For example, we were runners-up in the FA Cup. We won the League Cup 4 years in succession at Wembley. We won 2 European Cups with Brian Clough. To me, he was magic. He was absolute magic. He was a very kind man, but also he taught his players in simple language. He used to tell his players, do not put the ball in the sky. If God had wanted it in the sky, he would have put grass up there. But you keep the ball on the grass. And his instructions were so simple. I mean, he was very determined, and we have an expression in English which goes, we do not suffer fools gladly. In other words, you had to do as you were told, exactly. Oh, plenty trouble. A bit like a teacher. Yeah.
Are you happy with Nottingham fans?
Oh yes, I'm happy with Nottingham Forest. I just wish it was doing better at the moment. I've been to 5 matches this season so far. We've not done very well, so I'm proud to be part of Nottingham Forest, of course, very proud. I'm proud to be part of Nottingham. In Nottingham, my wife and I, we were both born in Nottingham. We met in Nottingham. We were educated in Nottingham. It is our home city. So yes, there's 2 clubs in Nottingham, of course. There's Nottingham Forest and 300 300 metres away, there is Notts County.
Could you tell us how Nottingham have started this season?
Yes, I've just been telling you that. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but the truth is badly. Bit like Cartagena, really.
Who is your best pet player? Don't say amor.
Who is the best player? The best player ever, or now?
No.
Now.
I honestly cannot answer that question. If the team is doing so badly, there's not one of the 11 that you can actually say is doing very well. If you ask me, who did I think has been the best player in the last 20 years, then I would say probably a gentleman called Peter Shilton. Peter Shilton was the goalkeeper, and he was also the goalkeeper for England. And England did very well when he was the goalkeeper, and Nottingham Forest won all these cups when he was the goalkeeper. So I would, Peter Shilton, Trevor Francis, John Robertson, all in the past very good players. Right now, not possible. Maybe in 6 months' time, I tell you. Or maybe if we score against Derby, I tell you.
How many members Nottingham have?
How many members? Do you
Membership.
mean support people watching?
Socio.
More or less.
Yeah.
Membership.
Member.
Membership. Socio.
How many people come to a match?
No.
We have a capacity. The ground holds about 30,000, and already this season we have approximately 14,500 members already paid for the whole season. That answers your question. In other words, half the capacity has a seat booked for the whole season. Okay?
Who is your favorite? Who is the best pet player in the team?
I'm not going to answer that. That would be an unfair question. That is a matter within the club. It's not right for me to discuss that publicly. I'm sorry.
Okay. How long will we be waiting to see Nottingham's premiere?
How long? In the Premiership?
The last
No.
question.
I wish in when the season finishes next May, but
Yeah.
from where we are now, it will not be too easy. Of course, all the time we wish to be in the Premiership, but it's a very steep hill.